For today's review, we have set 21343 Viking Village containing 2,103 pieces, retailing for $130 and released in 2023. Now the set is still available on lego.com, but taking a look at the Bricklink prices anyways, if you want to get this set new, the average price is going to be $159, and if you want to get it used, that average price is going to be $119. For our minifigures, we have 4 minifigures total. Going from left to right, we have the Chieftain, the Blacksmith, the Shield Maiden, and then the Archer. And I really must say they went all out with the minifigures in the set. Not only did they give them a highly detailed torso, they also gave them printing on the legs as well as the front of their feet. And as always, flipping the minifigures around and removing the headed pieces, we can see that one of the minifigures does have an alternate face, that being the Shield Maiden, but they all do have back torso printing, which is nice as well. So here we have the one and only build for this set, which is the Viking Village as a whole. Now it is a little bit too big for my setup, so we're going to take a look at it in sections, and it's mainly going to be in the sections that it's built in. So the way to kind of take these sections apart is you just kind of pry it in certain areas. So right here we have a connection. All you have to do is kind of move this side over, as you can see here, and then after that you can kind of pull it apart, and you can see it's held in by these pin type connections here. They're not Technic pins, which sucks. I wish that they were Technic pins because it makes more sense. It would be a stronger connection, but they decided to go with this route, and I think it's I just don't like this connection. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like this connection. It's not very sturdy. When you're moving it around, you have to take it apart, so I would have preferred if they had gone with the connection pin route. So the first piece of the village that we're going to take a look at is the blacksmith area. Now the first thing that I want to point out is this print right here, which I think is pretty cool. I want to say it's a nod to one of the other Viking sets that has been created in recent years, which is the Viking ship and the Midgard serpent. You can see here there is a Viking ship as well as what looks like a Midgard serpent up above that ship. So I think that's pretty cool as a print, even if it's not a nod to that set. From there though, we have the exterior of this entire area. The pine tree is very nice. I even like the fact that they have like little bits of snow kind of littered throughout the set as well, so you know you can see snow in some of these areas like it's melting. If we turn it around a little bit, we can see that there's kind of like a path here, which is very nice as well. More snow. Here are some of the connection pieces again, which I'm not a big fan of again, so they are there, but you know, not a big fan of them. Here we have the actual building for the blacksmith though. I like the colors that they use with this, you know, darker tan, and then the sand color here as well. We also have some bits of snow up here as well. Back here we have another little tree kind of growing with, you know, the snow coming off of it. More of the building as well. And then on this side we have, you know, the essentially the chimney to the fireplace where the blacksmith works. I also like the use of this as a smoke stack thing. It just kind of changes it up a little bit. And then, you know, the use of masonry bricks as well is nice in there too. So another cool thing for this set is that you can actually take a look at the interior a little bit better. So you can remove this right here, so you can remove the roof, and this is how it just kind of sits on there. There's no attachments, it just sits in there. So that's cool, but you can get a better look in here as well. So taking a look in here, you can see that there is a couple of things going on. First, there's the fire to that, you know, smokestack that's being created. There is some bits and pieces in there, such as swords, you know, a pickaxe, hammers, stuff like that. There's some fire back there, if you can get a closer look at that. So that's for lighting purposes. A shield that has yet to be painted. So this person that works in here is both a blacksmith and a shield painter, which is nice. She does have a brush in her hand, so she can paint the shields. There's also a little helmet in there, as you can see, right in there. Yeah, that's a better look at it. There's a helmet in there. So there's that, and then there is a play feature in here where you can essentially stoke the fire, I would say. So you push this piece down and then the fire comes up like you're stoking it. So that's a pretty cool little play feature that's in this set as well. So for the next area that we're going to take a look at is going to be the Chieftain building right here, and it's kind of just the main area where he resides, and I believe, you know, everybody else sleeps here because there's not really any beds anywhere. This is just kind of the main building, and that's the only place that makes sense for people to sleep at. So, you know, hopefully that's the case, right? But the way that you can kind of take a look at this building in a closer look here is you can just pry it away from this other piece as well. So this is the third piece. So, you know, it's 3 sections of a build. So you can take this apart, you know, move it to the side, and then you have this right here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this set right here. So again, this is the chieftain building, or like the middle portion of the build, if you will. Starting with the exterior, of course, there is water up here on the front, and then signs of a dock being created. There's more snow here on the sides as well too. And there's also like the use of translucent pieces to kind of show like moving water, which is nice. I wish it would have been a little bit more than this, but you know, this is just a general idea of how you can do that as well. So we also have this front area of the building as well here. So we got some steps leading up to the doors here, which they do open. So if I can get a good grip here, you can open these, and then you have access to the interior from there, which is nice. And we will take a look, or a closer look, I should say, at that in a little bit. So we also have some printed pieces up here. So these are very nice prints here. They kind of look like etching in the wood or painting in the wood. Is very nice. So we also have these log pieces here, these end log pieces, which are nice to get. Some lighting here, some patterning here with the studs, which is nice. And then turning this to the side, we can get a better look at the side of this building as well. So we do have some windows here. We have a window here and a window up here. This area isn't accessible, but it is nice to have, you know, this just patterning and architecture up here. Anyways, there is some snow on the roof, which is nice. It just proves that they're living in a cold environment. You can also have, or take a look at some of the connections down here. So this is how the these pins that they use connect, and how the sections connect together is through the use of these holes here. So you just kind of slide them in there, and the friction just kind of holds them in place, which I'm not a big fan of, because you know, if you're moving something around, it's very easy for those to, you know, kind of shift and potentially come loose. I would have preferred the Technic pins, to be honest. Just, it's more secure for me to have it that way. Even if you don't move it that often, it just feels, I just feel like it's a better you know, it's a better solution to that. Here it's just kind of blank, but the reason for that is because it's kind of up against another building, so there's not really any reason to have detail there. Moving to the back, of course, we do have like another window back here, but it's not really accessible from the inside, and there is a reason for that, so we'll show you that. We have more prints here on the wood, or etching, whatever you want to call it. Some rock work here on the back, which is nice as well. More snow here on the sides, so some snow here, some snow on the roof again. 2 more windows. More connections, so this is where the blacksmith side connects, and then we get back to the front here. So from there, you may be wondering, well, how do you get access to the interior? Well, that's very easy. All you have to do is pull off the entire roof, and it just sits there as well. So nothing crazy going on here. It just sits there, and you know, you can move it around too as well, because it's on hinges in these inner parts, but it just sits in there. So let me move this to the side here, and then let's get back to this right here. So here is the interior, and I'm sorry about any of this dust, but we can just kind of angle this and we can get a better look in here. So this is the main entrance over here, so you can push these doors open, and that's how you have access to the interior from that side. But here is a better look at it as well. So there is some stuff on the wall. You can see there's a shield, an axe, a spear. In the back here, you have essentially like a throne, or just a seating area for the chieftain. So he has, you know, a goblet to drink out of, some lighting, his chair, these banners. And then this is the reason why that back window is kind of not visible, is because of that chair right there. So that's the reason for that, I will say. Now, there is also the other side here. So let me flip this around. On this other side, you have a very small table with a piece of chicken on it, and then another drinking glass there, or, you know, cup, I should say. And then you have in the middle is a kind of a cookout area. So there's a fire going on, a pan on it, and then you can put food in there to just kind of cook and stuff like that. So there's not much going on in the interior, but it still is very nice to have an interior nonetheless. And here we have the final section of the Viking Village, which is kind of like a watchtower area. So let's go ahead and bring it in for a closer look. So for this section, we're going to start at the base and then work our way towards the top after that. So you can see here, there is the continuation of the dock right here. So it just kind of keeps going up to that end. We got some rock work here on the sides with some snow on this side as well as in this area right here. A little bit of a path here too, which is nice. One leading up to the stairs over here, which are very nicely done, I must say. And then I like the fact that they also left a stud up here just to give it an area where you can kind of stand a minifigure as well. I always like, having minifigures kind of in action, so that's really nice that they added that there too. I like the rock work here as well. Here you can see that there is some fishes hanging. I wish they would have given us at least one more just to, fill that out, but it's not too big of a deal. Over here you see an area where you can get some drinks over here, so you can kind of pour yourself a drink, and then there's some barrels down here that have these printed pieces on them. So they have the Midgard serpent on there, which is very cool little detail on there. So then turning this over here to the side, you see we have some more kind of rock work. This is a big ugly rock piece, or one of them I should say. So it's pre-molded, nothing too crazy, but they kind of added a little bit of extra detail here on the bottom to try to make it, a little bit less just flat in that area. A little bit more rock detail here, some greenery as well. And then you can see that this is kind of where the dock is there's kind of an entrance here, I guess. So you can bring a boat here or any other part of the dock for that matter, but I feel like here makes the most sense, to be honest. Then over here you can see we have some rock work in this area and then a cave back here. So on the back of the box for the set, or just some of the pictures, there is the blacksmith in here kind of mining and picking up these little studs. So I don't know what kind of material that's supposed to represent, but there is kind of a play feature with that, I guess, or just a ability to play in there, not really a play feature per se. And then coming around, you can see that there is more rock work here on the sides. So then let's go ahead and move this camera up a little bit and just get a look at some of these higher areas instead of the low areas. So I think in this case, I'm just going to start with this tower right here, and then we're just going to move and finish off over here. So the tower is very nice, I will say. It has a very nice architecture to it overall. There is a door here, so you can open this and gain access to the interior there. And then if we spin this around this way, you can see that there is some more architecture here on the sides. There is some snow at the very top here just to indicate that, it's a cold region again. And then, on this side, it's just more architecture of the same that's been kind of replicated on all four sides. And something that is very cool is that you can open this area up. So the way you do that is this wall back here is just kind of attached to this piece down here. You can see here it just kind of pops off, so it's attached by 4 studs, and there is this plate here to just kind of stop it from moving here, as you can see right here. So here is like access to the interior of this place. Here is the main door, so you can come in through here. There's what looks like some cherries over there. There's a pumpkin in here, and then of course the ladder to get up here get to the bridge, which I love. I love when they add stuff like that, when they make it semi-realistic in the aspect that minifigures can gain access to certain areas by walking through other areas, right? So the fact that they did that is great. So here is just kind of that area as well. So you can see that there is some snow up here, then the architecture up here. And then this bridge, I'm 50-50 on. I don't really like the color they chose, and I don't really like how none of these pieces kind of stay straight because of how it is. But on that note as well, I don't know how they could have gone through the process of just making it more sturdy and more straight without the use of something like this. Maybe using some type of rope instead of rubber could have been a better option there. I'm not sure, but I'm still not a big fan of the color either, not the black. I feel like just keeping it consistent with the brown would have made more sense in this case, but I still like the fact that there is a cool little bridge in the set. I just wish it could have been done a little bit better and would have kind of fit the theme and color scheme a little bit better as well. And then finally, there's just this tower here where you can sit a minifigure at the top as a lookout. We also have a shield up here and then the flag as well. So again, here's everything you get in set 21343 Viking Village, containing 2,103 pieces, retailing for $130 and released in 2023. Now, as always, there's the age-old question, is this set worth the retail price? And I think in this case, it is. First, if you want to look at price per piece, and you're looking at about 6 cents per piece, which is really good. I care more about the end product, however, and I still think that in this case, it's really good as well. You are definitely getting your money's worth. First, taking a look at the minifigures, you get 4 minifigures. You get a chieftain, the blacksmith / shield painter, the shield maiden, and the archer, which are all 4 great minifigures. I would have loved to have seen one more though, maybe one male warrior as well, just to go with the shield maiden. So, you know, there's 2 on the battlefield of the front lines, because I don't really consider the chieftain like a battlefield type guy. You know, he's a chieftain. He's more of like a giving orders type of guy, in my opinion. So one more minifigure would have been cool. I think something that we should have also definitely seen in this set is some type of animal, either a sheep or a goat. You know, something like that would have been nice just to have roaming around, because there is a lot of space and it's hard for 4 minifigures to fill this empty space. You know, you'd have the blacksmith over there, the chieftain in his house, the archer in the tower, and then the shield maiden could just be hanging around down in the front somewhere. But I feel like having a sheep plus 1 extra minifigure could help fill the area maybe over here somewhere at the bottom. So that would have been nice if we had gotten that, right? But looking at the build itself, the build is great. I don't really see any downsides to this build, except maybe the most negative thing that I can think of, which could really be opinion based, is the bridge. I don't really think the bridge fits in too well. I don't think black should have been the color of choice there. It should have just been, you know, a brown for this kind of like long piece here to stick onto, right? It shouldn't have been black. It just sticks out too much. There is black in other areas of the set, but it's not to that degree of the bridge. That's really my only complaint. The main building is small, I will say. I kind of would have liked if that was bigger, but you know, for the price that you are paying for this and the amount of pieces you're already getting a really good deal, in my opinion. But again, I would have liked to have seen the building a little bit bigger, mainly wider. I don't really care about the height too much. It's just the width that's kind of the issue, because if you're trying to place minifigures in there, there's not really that much space, you know, to go around, is my opinion on that. But other than that, my opinions on this set are very high. It's got some really cool architecture, even having a play feature in the blacksmith area of stoking the fire, which is cool. The roofs of the building are very nice, particularly the main building, the chieftain building. Having the cave under the tower over there is a good way to save on pieces while kind of creating a very cool area, in my opinion. The stairs and rockwork are very nice as well, and I just also like the fact that there's an open area as well. It's not like super crowded, which is nice. It's very open in some areas, which is kind of what, you know, you would expect out of a village. So I think that this set is definitely worth the $130. Now that's going to conclude my review of set 21343 Viking Village. If you are enjoying the content, consider liking the video. And if you are enjoying the content overall and are not subscribed, consider subscribing. It is completely free and helps me out in the long run. Now, as always, I will see you guys in my next video.